I think it'd be crazy not to start the show out without talking about the absolute GOAT of college football, Nick Saban, at the age of 72, deciding to step away, deciding to I guess go to that beachfront house of Miss Terry now and enjoy some life. But as we know, man, there's already been a new hire made, and it sounds like Nick Saban's still very much going to be hands on with the university and the program. But what are your initial thoughts of Coach Saban, what he's done for Alabama, even though we're Tennessee fans, we really hate what he did. But you can't deny how great he is, man.
Oh, as a Tennessee fan, I'm just gonna put it out there. I hate Nick Saban as a Tennessee fan, just because of the success that he has had against Tennessee. All the many years that he has beaten Tennessee, we've come so close a few different times, and things just happen. And I mean, Nick Saban's the GOAT, but as a person and as a college football fan, I respect the crap out of Nick Saban. Just you cannot deny all the things that he has done for the sport, what he has done for Alabama in general. There's no doubt he is the GOAT of really all football coaches, not just college football. Just football in general. He is the greatest of all time when it comes to that. And people said that what Bear Bryant did back in the day cannot be replicated. Well, it has been replicated by Nick Saban, and the torch has been passed to Nick Saban as the greatest of all time. And we're going to get into some of that today. But, my initial thought on it was, okay, is this for real?
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I saw the source, Chris Lowe, I said, there's no way this isn't real, because he is so close to the Alabama program, and Nick Saban pretty much comes to him anytime that there's any sort of information like this that comes out. And that's exactly what happened. Was Nick Saban came to Chris Lowe and was like, look, I'm giving you this. You do what you want to with it, but just give me some time to let my team know first. And I think it was like a half hour later, Chris Lowe broke the story. I was in shock. So what was your reaction to it all?
Yeah, I can't remember what I was actually doing during the moment. I may have even been working. I don't know what it was, but I had like 5 text messages within 3 seconds. One of them was you, I think.
Yeah.
And it was like, Saban's retiring. It's over. Like, it's happening. And I kind of like blew it off. I'm like, nah, like that must be speculation. But no, like I got on my Instagram, I got on Facebook. It was like literally every single news feed or next post was all about Nick Saban retiring, stepping away. And, we can sit here and act like everybody's surprised by it. But honestly, I don't view it that surprising. This is something we've kind of been speculating that, to happen for the last 4 or 5 years. And we all know, and we've all talked about how dreadful this season was on him because of how much work he actually had to do. Not that he doesn't always do a lot of work, but where he took his team from week 2, week 3, to where he got that team at week 14, 15. And it's one of the biggest coaching, jobs ever. I honestly think he was very deserving for SEC, if not National Coach of the Year. And I mean, that's drooling. It's dreadful. But and I think he even alludes to that at the age of 72. That much that goes into it every day. I think he was talking about staying up till 1, 2 in the morning, and then waking up at 5 a.m. and doing it all over again. I mean, that's hard to do at 22, 23, 24 years old, much less doing it at 72. So I'm very much shocked that it happened this year. I thought he was going to do it after another national championship, because I mean, at Alabama it happens every 3-4 years. But I'm really happy for him. He did it on his terms when he wanted to, and how much of this was his decision or Miss Terry's? Both. What do you think?
So I do believe, after watching the interview with Reese Davis, a lot of it was his decision, just because he said in that interview that this season really wore him down. And we had been speculating about it all year, and we said this is the best coaching job that he has ever done, because of what he has had to do to give his team success overall this year, the amount of work he has put in. And I think that that kind of came to fruition during that interview. He said, "It's just wore me out this year." And he said, I'm getting to the point where I feel like I can't give 100% of everything that I need to into it. And I told myself as a younger coach, if I ever get to that point, it's time.
Yep.
But, there was a little story floating around that he was actually in the facility that morning, and he was working on, I don't know if it was hiring somebody on the staff or trying to get some recruits in or
He was
whatever.
reaching out to recruits, 100%. He was reaching out to recruits.
Yeah, so he was doing that. Then he went to lunch, and when he came back, that's when the news broke. So the story going around was, well, he went to lunch with Miss Terry, and while he was there, Miss Terry said, "Nick, it's time." And when Miss Terry says it's time, it's time. So that was the story going around about that. But you mentioned that it happens every 3 or 4 years at Alabama that a national title is won. An interesting stat that I found out this past week was every player at Alabama that stayed for 4 years won a national title under Nick Saban.
If not more than one. Is that not
Yeah,
crazy? Is that not
that
crazy?
that is
Every
insane.
single recruiting class that he recruited won a national championship if they stayed their
Yeah,
4
if they
years.
stayed 4 years.
You realize how massive of a recruiting pitch that is when you can walk into somebody's living room and be like, "Hey, I can guarantee you at least one national championship if you come and play with us for 4 years. At least one." I mean, that's
Yeah,
insane. But I mean, we're talking about the GOAT of college football coaching. I kind of want to talk about it because you kind of alluded to it, man. 5-time SEC Coach of the Year. He won 11 SEC championships. He's got obviously 7 national championships. He got the one at LSU in 03, right? He started his coaching career at Toledo, and I didn't realize this. I thought he started at Michigan State. But he started at Toledo in 1990, where he went 9-2 in his lone year there. And from there, he went to the Cleveland Browns. If you remember with Bill Belichick, funny enough, he also retired or stepping away, however you want to take that. I think he's retiring, but for right now, he's no longer with the New England Patriots. But he went to the Browns to coach with him. He got back to Michigan State 95 to 99, where he went 34-24 at Michigan State. 34-24. That's the most human win-loss record Nick Saban had as a coach ever anywhere, right?
and here's the crazy thing: just looking at these records overall, the worst record that he ever had as a head coach in college. It was 6-6,
Six
and
and
he did
six.
it
He never
twice at
went.
Michigan State.
Yeah, I didn't think he went. He never went below 500.
He never went below 500 in a single season as a head coach. That is a crazy stat.
Yeah, I mean, from there, man, from Michigan State in '99, he went to LSU from 2000 2004. At LSU, he went 48-16, and then that's when he won that Natty in 03. And now after LSU, he tried the NFL thing again with Miami, but eventually came back, and we all know what happened after 2007 at Alabama, where he went from 07 to 2023, winning 6 more national championships, 11 SEC championships. I think he won 12 SEC West Division championships. Had 4 Heisman winners in that stint with Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, Bryce Young, and Devontae Smith. I mean, just it's the greatest of all time. The greatest of all time. As much as I hated it, as much as we were always on the losing end of it, except 1 year. Except 1 year.
Yeah.
The last time
When he was
there.
at Alabama, anyway, Tennessee
Yeah.
did get him once when he was at LSU, but
Hey,
twice.
yeah, that is true. That is true. But no, man, just absolutely nothing but respect for Coach Saban, what he is, who he is, and what he was able to accomplish as a head coach. I know when Paul Bryant. What's crazy about you mentioned Paul Bryant, Bear Bryant. What he was able to do, how he was able to do it, the legend he became. But not only for Nick Saban to kind of surpass that, but surpass it at the place that Paul Bear Bryant did it. Like he literally followed in the footsteps and excelled, which is I think even a little bit harder to do,